I think about the emotions that you feel when you're in a performance mindset, that anything that actually matters in this world is actually performing. And then you start viewing much of life in terms of success and failure, in terms of these things that are just made up imaginary things that are in your mind, and they don't necessarily matter that much to the day to day. I always think about coming back and grounding myself, and whenever I go through that, and I go through that all the time, right? Like that's actually why I talk about it, is I'm trying to reason and get other people to sort of see, like, wait a minute. So I start thinking about, am I succeeding? Inevitably, in my mind, it's no. I'm not doing the right things. I am spending too much time. Generally, it will be spending too much time with my family. I'm spending too much time doing other things that are not related to my work, in terms of, and it's not even within my work, right? If you don't understand how research actually works, the only thing that matters is writing. So if I spend time on emails, if I spend time on teaching, if I spend time on anything other than writing a manuscript, um, it's considered a waste. And so if I get on to that perform, and that's true, I guarantee anybody that is a serious researcher, they're going to say that. Um, so and that goes even for reading other people's research, right? Like that is it, all of that stuff is considered a waste. And when I go down that sort of mindset, I really, really start getting this narrow view of the world. And inevitably, I'm going to feel that I am a failure, because I cannot abide by that idealistic reality. And then B, um, what's going to happen is when I do feel success and I'm working towards it, and when the world arbitrarily gives you negative feedback, which it will do unless you're a very fortunate person that has either unbelievable gifts or talents, or that you are in a situation that was arbitrarily given to you. So unless you're in that sort of very fortunate situation, you will experience a great deal of failure in your mind. And then when I go that way, when I start thinking about this sort of performance mindset, it it eats me up, but I never feel good, and I feel like I am always behind. I feel like I am always pathetic. Um, and it's not an imposter syndrome. It is you genuinely feel like you are not good enough. And this is far beyond imposter syndrome or anything like that. So what I start doing then is saying, screw it. Let's stop thinking in terms of performance mindset and think about, like, just come back to reality, that, um, we live in a time, just by definition, the fact that you are listening to this right now means that you are extraordinary lucky. You likely have a cell phone, which many other people in this world don't have. You likely live in a country that has a cell phone network, which lots of people don't have. You live in a time that, in general, most people are not dying arbitrarily and for God knows whatever reason. Many of you that are listening to this live likely in a semi-free country, which is a new thing in the last 100 years. Most of the countries around the world were under complete suppression. Um, you have access to electricity, you have access to all these things. Your world is phenomenal compared to just being born even a matter of 100 years ago. Just phenomenal better than what it used to be. And so then I have to recalibrate and I have to think, like, what am I thinking here? Why am I not enjoying the beauty of where we live and what we're doing and all of these amazing things that are going on. And why am I worrying about this silly thing that doesn't necessarily matter at this given moment? And I can also, if it doesn't work out, I can take a step back. I'm a clever person. I live in a place that will allow me to take a step back and then go find something that where I'm actually going to be better served, where I am people are going to recognize my talents and do much better with what I'm doing. Right? If I start thinking about that is like, hey, the simple fact that I am dedicating an hour of my time, it's not only a privilege of myself, and I know that this sounds very arrogant, um, but it's a privilege for the other people that are actually interacting with me, because I'm actually spending some time with them. And that is a beautiful privilege that that they need to recognize as well. Right? Like that is something that is unbelievably amazing with amazing opportunities. And I want you to take a step back and think about that, right? Like the fact that you're even breathing at this moment is an amazing accomplishment. That just a lot of people, I mean, most people in the world at this time are not breathing, right? Like they're dead. Remember, the most of our civilization has existed before us. So if you think about all of this, right, you start compounding it, you put it together. It's like what on earth are we doing here? Why are we just not enjoying these moments that we have, these extremely precious moments that we have that are fleeting, that will disappear, and one day, you will have to make some hard decisions, when you're near the end of your life, right? Like there is so much to be done. So instead of thinking like, hey, how do I get there quicker? What is it that I actually need to do? Um, say screw you to the rest of the world, right? Like you don't need to abide by these unrealistic standards that are either being, pushed onto you or that you're crafting in your head, and take a step back and start saying, wait a minute, I'm going to live no matter what. Um, and I can live and enjoy and have a great time, or I can be aggressively pushing and, going as ridiculous as possible, or I can just enjoy it and have fun. And you know what the thing is, that the difference between, because of actually, Pareto distributions, which is, I'm not going to get into that, the difference between going that extra like craziness, um and and you know enjoying and thinking about the world and being happy in terms of your performance outcome, is like 10%. Like it's not going to be that big of a difference between the stress and anxiety and all that kind of stuff that you're going to experience, and loneliness, compared to saying, I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to do things where I got to love on my life. I'm going to love on the other people around me. I'm going to enjoy it as much as I possibly can along the way, but try to get some work done at the same time. Now, if I take that view, man, things are just so much more better in terms of how I see the world, rather than being anxious and stressed out and realizing that I'm not going to accomplish that anyways, whatever the thing I want to accomplish. But I could sit there and just enjoy the process as it unfolds around me. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.